Let's start piecing these two demos together inside of our display IP file. I think for this first demo, we'll just steal pretty much all of the code from the communication demo. Essentially, we'll just have our object here, the thing that we're enabling and disabling. It'll also just be an LED for this example. And you can see it doesn't like that I have two main methods. Let's move those inside main. And for some reason they got indented over too far. Let's create the display first. Oh, actually we can't just create the display first. We need to create the blinker first so that we can grab the IP address from the blinker itself. Toit has a nice function, nice functionality for what are called interpolated strings. So I can put a quote here, and I can use a $sign and say com.ip address. And I should also be able to put the port. And it's going to complain about these not being found because I need to make sure that I do relative imports. Alright, what is missing to get this working? Can't assign to unknown IP address. I need a colon there to say that this variable is being introduced. It's not just being assigned to. And I think I can probably go without those spaces. And now I can use IP address here. And this is probably worth trying right now. It'll likely break on not having all of the needed packages installed. So for that, I need to make sure that the package YAML includes both the packages for the display library and for the communication library. So let's just take a look at what one of those files looks like. So this is inside display IP demo. This is the package YAML file. And now I need to copy over things from the communication directory, package YAML file. Luckily, it doesn't look like it'll be too hard to figure out how to merge these. That should be enough. It's programming the device. It looks like it's happily running. And it looks like my output here is incorrect. It should read the same as what I have down here, minus the WS colon slash and slashes. After some quick print debugging, I think I've understood what I misunderstood before. So when I print out the IP address and the port, I get nothing and 0. So that code's not going to do us any good. And what I remembered is that the values for IP address and port are only initialized inside this start server function. And that start server function is constructed as a task, meaning it runs concurrently. Toit uses a concurrency model known as threading. So it's not running in parallel, but these tasks, one will be run for a few instructions, and then another will be run for a few instructions, and then the main one will also be run for a few instructions. So essentially what was happening was I was actually running the code here inside main before that code was being run inside the WS communication object. So what that really amounts to is I need to make sure that I only update the display after the communication object has been started. And there's currently no way to do that. If I take this display code, what I'd like to do is have display be another member variable, and then call these two inside of a new function that we'll have to create here. And I think I'll call it onStart. OnStart is never going to be called currently, and it's not part of this communicator interface. But I think it's worth adding to this communication interface. So it's going to be a method that doesn't have to return anything. It's just us signaling to the whatever the communicator object is that we have in fact started. And a good place to call that is here when we know the IP address after we've essentially started listening for incoming connections. So we should now be calling onStart after we start listening on this port. And when we've done that, we actually don't have access to the IP address and port inside this class anywhere. So for expediency purposes, I think it makes sense to just add them as arguments here. And now it's complaining because we're not implementing the onStart method correctly. Our onStart method's not the same as the one defined inside the communicator object. So this will return none, but it'll take two arguments. Both will be strings, and we'll call them address and port, so the same names as used elsewhere. Okay, this is now happy. It's not showing any errors. This looks relatively happy, other than that I'm not passing in IP address and port. And that is now worth trying. Let's see, listening on. And it's now showing up on the display screen. My iPad had fallen asleep and it made me think that it wasn't actually showing there. So the IP address is showing as 172.168.125.50, and the port is run off the screen, so I'll need to do a little bit of cleaning up in the formatting. So let's add this a line below. The display add text method is not overly smart, so it'll just overwrite whatever I put there. The address it'll overwrite with the port. But there is an additional two arguments here that give us the x and y coordinate of where we're going to put the text. So the next line, let's say it's also going to be starting at 8 pixels in from the left, and let's just put it further down vertically. Let's try 32. And that looks like it works well enough. We should be able to use that IP address and port with our heartbeat. 172.28125. 50 49911. And now we're getting our light staying on again.